And I don't have to be bothered with all them regulations they want me to jump through over there with YouTube. There we go. I think we're live. Welcome to the Michael and Nancy Live Show. Hello. What's going on here? I see. There we go. We got Jeff in here. Howdy, howdy, sir. Give him a couple.
You want to see my poison for today?
Sure. Hot tamales. Candy?
Yeah, that's haven't had those for a while, and I was like, you know what? I'm craving hot tamales.
I didn't even know they were still making them.
Well, Nancy, that's what they say about people like us.
Yeah, that's true. And I don't feel like I'm very made up tonight, I'll tell you.
Rough day today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how are you two? What have you two been up to?
Trying to survive. Nancy was trying to sing last night, and hey, Amy, and her throat was hurting her so bad that she was having a lot of trouble singing. Hey, Daniel, there we come in now. Good to see you.
Hope everybody's doing well. Thanks all for being here tonight. Oh, and by the way, happy Christmas Eve.
Same to you, Frosty.
Oh. Yeah, Merry Christmas Eve. Oh, goodness. Huh. A little quiet tonight.
Trying to get chat to show up something and it's not working.
Chat's not working?
Well, on my end, because I am trying to do something else.
Oh.
And I realized why it wasn't working. I'm just being goofy, that's all.
So,
as soon as I said what I was going to do, it resolved itself because I was like, oh, I'm not even in the right spot.
Yeah. So when it gets going, we could blow yours up so they can see yours better.
If you want to, I mean, there's no need for it. I'm not going to be showing any platinum. I haven't went and grabbed it. Okay. You know that I don't store anything
right
at my location. I don't do that. I don't invite people to know where I keep my stuff. So I don't ever stream from the house, or I don't ever store at the house. So it's safe. Am I being silly tonight? Maybe I can be if you want me to. But we're going to talk a little bit of platinum, I think.
Yep.
Is that what you have going on today? Is that what you want to talk about?
I thought that was going to be a great subject for seeing how it's is just, oh my, the price has just really gone up over the last few months. I mean, just woo. Huh. Getting lots of rain and wind. Oh my goodness.
I'm glad you actually said that because you and I had been talking about this the other day. And it was like, well, whenever we go live, we can talk about, and we talked about 2 or 3 things. What's funny about where platinum has gone is, if you remember, about 60 days ago, I went, because of some conversations that were being had between me and various members of the community.
Mm-hmm.
And I made the determination, looking at history and where we were at and what had happened in the past and when something spiked and why things dropped and the historical manipulation of silver and some of the fears that I have regarding that. And folks, those are personal, right? I don't push that to anybody. This is what I do. This is my own idea. I'm not a finance person. I don't teach finance. So the conversations that I was having were with people that have been on Wall Street. They've worked in the commodities market. And so I just asked them a couple straight questions. If I was to do this, what are your thoughts? And all three of them were like, either get not out of silver, but get some of your silver out and put it into platinum, palladium. And it's going to go somewhere. And I was like, okay, well, we'll see what happens. But I hawed about it for a little while. Neil Hahn, you see him in your streams quite a bit, said, Frosty, do a video on platinum. Why don't you do like a 101 on platinum? And I was like, oh, I can do that. I've been wanting to learn more about it. It's a perfect opportunity to learn and then learn how I research and then show you what I found. No problem. I can do that. And then I continued to have these conversations. And I quickly realized I need to listen to my friends. They're here in the community. They're here. They know what's going on. And so I called them and I said, well, here's my plan. Originally, it was 120 ounces of silver. Went, picked it up, took it to the place here in San Antonio, did the trade, traded for 2 ounces of platinum, a gold piece for my typeset book, and then enough money to pay for a car repair. And so I didn't take that full amount and throw it back into platinum. But I did what needed to be done, when it needed to be done. That's what silver's for. That's why we collect and stack, so that if we have to, we can turn that back into fiat dollars, right? Pay our bills, whatever.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm going to go ahead and do that. It's a smaller piece. So 120 ounces, if I was to do straight platinum at the time, it had been like 3.5 ounces. I did 2, and then I went with gold. So I think I walked away with $400-500 cash. A lot of people are like, well, Frosty, the problem is look, silver's at 71. That's great. I don't have a crystal ball. And I wanted to buy it when platinum was at what I thought was its low. And based off of conversation, I was making my decision not where silver was going to be, but where we thought platinum was going to be. And they give me some really good reasons, showed me some really definitive information that there were potentials for this. Again, you can't say there's a crystal ball or anything, but so the reason that I say that is because, again, this is all decisions that I made based off of the information I had. That's what's important for people to understand. And I made a more educated decision, thanks to people like Neil, who had said, learn about platinum, go check it out, do that video. I actually ended up doing 2 on it. And then I dropped a short showing people kind of where I had been and what happened. So the basic of it, and then we'll just open it up to questions, was I ended up taking a total of 155 ounces. I bought 3 ounces of platinum, and then the 1 piece of gold. And then again, I offset some money for a car payment or a car bill that I needed to cover. So in that, I lost, if you were to take silver as it is, if you could find a place to get spot today, you guys know that it's 6-7 back. You're still getting $62, $63. So I'm $10 down, and for the ounces, it's about a $1,200 difference. And people are like, well, how much are you up in platinum? Well, platinum from the time we looked at it, which was 1630, 1700, somewhere in that range. Dropped down to as like 1590, and I was like, I'm selling. I'm gonna purchase this. It went up to about 1750. I bought it about 1650. It dropped back down to just below that, and then it bounced back up. I picked some up at about 1850, and then it now, as of yesterday, is 2238.
Wow.
And so I've made money on something that it was a good deal. If I would have done everything, if I wouldn't have taken the one additional piece of gold for the typeset book, and I wouldn't have taken any money out to pay for that cooling system, the radiator repair I had to do on my car,
Yeah.
then I would have had an additional ounce. So that difference would have been even higher. Now, if you take spot price, you add those ounces together, you put that, how much money would I be down? If I held all the silver, I would have about $200 more. Okay. And that's if, keyword if, you could find somebody to buy it at 71. Right now, as I said before, you're finding 62, 63, 64. I found one place in San Antonio, I can get it for 66. But you have to do in-store trades. So you go find what they have. If they have something you like, you bring it and you trade for it. They'll give you more money towards it because you're in-house. So they're making profit, but you're getting a better deal. So I've tended to go with this place because they've repeatedly done this. Now you have to be careful that the item they don't have isn't too marked up. But again, it's one of those things. Now, Amy Harrell, thank goodness you had some precious metals in an uncertain world. Absolutely. Stacking, that's what we do. Putting money aside. I'm going to spend money anyway. I had better put it on something that actually is worth something later. And that's my way of saving, right?
Yeah.
But here's what I want people to understand about this. Yes, in this particular case, I won. Overall, if the prices were absolute spot, again, with platinum, with silver, you're going to get a little bit back. You're probably going to get closer to spot than you will on platinum than silver. But again, you're still going to be back of spot. It's only a few $100s if I had all that extra weight. No, I want you to think about weight consolidation and, the value, the wealth consolidation. That's 150 ounces I don't have to worry about carrying around. And that's a lot of weight, right? It's 4 now. It's 4 coins.
Yeah.
And those 4 coins carried all that worth. So even if silver does a little bit more, even if platinum does a little bit more, even if they retract, it doesn't matter. I have consolidated my wealth and it didn't cost me anything. It actually made me money. And so if you're smart about how and when you do it, understand that it's not always going to be a win. There are times where you're going to lose, but it's the game. It's the long game. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to track that and to tell people, okay, silver being what it was, I would still have this much money, and show people that over time, silver is going to be a winner and silver is going to be a loser. Platinum's going to be a winner and platinum's going to be a loser. And it's going to happen. That's just how it is. Which all goes back to don't react, act, and stay away from FOMO. So I did this today. Again, we got some educational stuff. Michael, I talked with you about what Tiger and I are doing. If you guys were in Stack Collectors on Monday, you heard about what Tiger and I were doing. And so we're going to teach people, and I got something pretty cool. I actually might show you a piece of it just to get some feedback from you, because I know there's some people who like computers and there's other people who can't stand it. but is it something that's of interest to you? Because if it's of interest to people, then that means other people might benefit from it. So maybe I will show you that. I can probably pull that up and actually do that. And we'll get some feedback from your group tonight.
Hey, Aquarius.
Cool.
So, but that was the scenario. That's how that went down. Again, right now, barring the fact that you're not going to find $71 purchase anywhere. And I took things out for my typeset book and for my car. So it was a good move in my end. Will it go down? Absolutely. They're both going to go down eventually. It's just going to happen. But stick to your plan. The only thing that I'm concerned with, and again, this isn't based on anything but history. I don't have a crystal ball and I don't know what's happening, but seeing the increase of the precious metals over the course of the last year, it's alarming. They say the dollar's strong. They say the economy is doing whatever it is, but you got precious metals running rampant. The only time precious metals have ever run rampant is in manipulation. So yeah. I'm a little bit worried about where we're at and what's going to happen. I'm not recommending, I know Tiger, him and I don't see eye to eye on this, but I don't do price predictions. I don't do any of that kind of stuff. I think we don't have crystal balls. We don't know. We can look at the information. We can talk to the details and, make an educated guess, but it's a guess. One person gets a wild hair to sell 10,000 ounces of gold and gold's going to fall through the floor. It's just the way the market works. And if they come back and they do, 15 million ounces of silver, like what supposedly crashed the servers, then they have to figure out, well, hey, how do we keep this person from selling? And if they can't do that, and if it comes to call and it's going to drop. Say gold maple, that's another thing. The US dollar, I don't know that it's going to drop. I don't know that it's going to fail. At first I read that to fail, but it says fall. So I think it's going to drop. But the dollars, they're showing everything as it being steady. Precious metals tell you something different. They tell you a different story. So I just don't know what that story is. I wish I did. I wish I had that crystal ball, but I don't know. What questions do you two have?
Me? I'm typing back to my daughter who finally read my text. Sorry about that.
Oh, yeah, no worries.
Let's see. Comex, I think, has to deliver silver coming up, so I hope they can pay it. There you go.
So there's a lot of things when you're talking about contracts, when you're talking about the payables on those things, there's some potential there for it to cause issue. My thing is, and again, you'll find this in places, but if you go look at the one I did on JP Morgan, the discussion about how they have manipulated silver for decades. The $400 million in fines that they've paid, it might even be as high as 900 million, I think, with all of them together. It's an easy give for them because of the sheer amounts of money that they make. And so what's to say this isn't another repeat of one of the many JP Morgan manipulations of silver? I don't know, right? I wish I knew, but you see things about this primary office moving to Singapore. It wasn't everything. It was just this one little marketing office. But this one marketing office seems to have a big play in the SCV. Interesting. Why is it in Singapore? Where is Singapore? Oh yeah, China. So when you look at the new exchange that China has, you look at the new structure that China has, you look at what they've been doing, the sheer amount of counterfeiting that's out there in their public workplace, people thinking they have gold that they don't have, the overinflated prices. Yeah, I have some concerns. So, but again, I don't know the answer. I just don't. I wish I had a little bit more insight on this, but Jackknife, what's up, bud? How you doing? Jeff Rubin, what's going on?
It's good to see you.
So what do you all think about this? And this is something $71 silver, 2238 platinum. I mean, holy smokes. These prices are just unreal.
Yeah, it is, and sometimes I don't really understand the back and forth with it. I mean, I see it, I do see it. I see the COMEX, I see the banks, I see the buyers that want their metal, they're demanding metal or whatever, and I don't know from day to day. I feel like that it's going to continue going up very slowly with this war that's going on. It seems like it pushes up a little bit. They try to take it back down, but they're not being successful, I think, of taking it down as far as they want to take it down. I think a lot of them have given up trying to, what do they call it, short the silver market. I think that they're not doing that. They're trying to get out from under it.
I think they've done that for so long, they're dying.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And yeah. I don't trust the dollar. I don't trust the dollar anymore, but the dollar is going to continue to be there in whatever shape and form they turn it in. They keep it in, right? Stable coins. That bothers me. Stable coins really bothers me. I don't want anything I don't mind using my credit card and my debit cards, but I always want to be able to have cash just in case. Yeah. And I don't want the government telling me, yeah, you got to use this particular thing or else. And stable coin, I believe, can be tracked, obviously.
Well, what in your life right now can't be tracked? I'll explain. You scan one of them coins. There's a system out there that says that IP, that MAC address from your telephone has reached out to this website. And that website is the one for an MS-65 Morgan dollar. And you accessed it at such and such time. Mm-hmm. Everything we do that has anything to do with any kind of technology. So where's our money, or your money's being tracked, and people like the precious metals aren't being tracked. I can promise you that if you're any kind of big player, they know what you're sitting at. Okay. They know it. And
even if I go and pay cash for something, my phone tracked me to the place where I went to spend cash. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Again, we're inundated by technology, and I'm not going to get into the whole schism of, going offline or all that. I think that's those folks, if they want to do it, more power to them. But, hey, if it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. I'm not leaving my life to it's not, I don't think it's going to happen in my lifetime. But again, it is what it is. Period. End of story. Mm-hmm. Some of the practices on how they're going to hold the money, how they're going to market against it, when they play with money, they play both ends of it. They don't just trust it to one side. They put a little bit of extra gamble in those areas that they think they're going to win. But if you see what Jackknife said, again, a little bit of a crash, but he can't call it top. But the point is here that he invests with diversification. That's huge. Don't have to necessarily worry about this. And again, this is a hobby. A lot of people, this is the only way they save. So when we talk about this, a lot of people don't necessarily recognize that this is our stock portfolio. We have our 401k, we have our Roth distribution, we have our government bonds, we have our yields. We're reinvesting any kind of shareholder profits, or again, some of us have mass strategies when it comes to this, and others have silver. And so we have to, when we're talking about saving money, we have to remember we're talking about a wide and diverse audience. And it's really easy for us to look at the lens of where we are at and think that, we're the ones that make the difference. When it comes to silver and gold, when it comes to numismatics, we are all small fish in this game. All of us.
Yeah.
We are all small fish in this game. We have zero control. I mean, I think the entire stacking, I'm trying to remember how the thing goes, but it basically states that the number of people in the United States that actually stack, hold, collect, or maintain any silver or gold is, I think it's less than 3%. I think it's like 2.76 or 2.78% of all the people in the US do any kind of silver or gold or anything like that. And so we get into our community and think that we have a really good sized community. There's a ton of people doing it, but we're the only ones doing it. 98%, 97% of America is not. And so again, when you think about how small of a niche we are in this, you'll realize that, yes, we have an impact, but that impact is so minuscule that one of these major holders that has 15 million ounces of gold wants to move that, they're changing the economy. And so we are not going to be affected by this in the way that people think we are. And we will lose money. But if you do what Jackknife said and diversify, don't make this your only source. If you will diversify and protect yourself by playing both sides of the equation, you're going to set yourself up in a much better place. Metals have a part in it, but metals should only be, no less than 33% if you have a three-pronged strategy. 33% of your stuff, precious metals, 30% into bonds and stock certificates or whatever there are. And then, if you have a 401k or Roth, or if you're government, you have something like the savings plan or whatever those things are called. And again, so you open it up. Yeah, include numismatics. Exactly right, SE stacking. And so, but those should be a percentage of that, not your entire thing. Yeah. And so a lot of people get into this and they think, well, this is my one way to save. It is a good way to save, but don't make this your only way. You need to diversify, because if something massive happens, where's your savings? Where does it go? It's gone. So you have to protect yourself. So even though that story about the platinum is a good one, it's a win, I can lose with it just as quick. So make sure you diversify. That's the important piece there. And what Jackknife said was absolutely right. If you do that, you save yourself a ton of money. And cash too. Yeah, it's always good to have fiat cash. But I'll tell you what's better than having cash. Having a network of people that know when you call, you have no problem with the sell. Because it's really easy. And we saw this when we had the issue with the 90%, 40% silver. Now, it didn't last very long, right? But what happens if all your stacking is 90% silver and a place like the refineries stop collecting that?
Boy, did we learn that this time, didn't we?
Well, but it's an item that big players would go, oh, I would never do that. I would never allow that. We don't necessarily always recognize it. And then when it happens, we're like, what the hell happened?
Yep.
And this should have been an eye opener for a number of people. 40%, 90% should be a portion of your stack. Again, diversification. Some of it should be gold, some of it should be silver. And in my case, I downgraded some silver and upgraded into platinum. And so, again, it's just I increased the range of my diversification in a very smart portion, standard size, I should say, not small. The numismatics and the stacking is a small portion of my collecting. But that's one bucket that I have, right? So that's a small piece of it. But even in that bucket, you want to diversify, right? So make your stuff as protection ready as possible. But networks, man, that's the biggest thing. Having somebody you can get it to, somebody will pick that up. You don't have to hold as much cash. You can protect yourself a little bit more. And yeah, network, knowing dealers, knowing bullion dealers, knowing numismatic dealers, knowing really good coin shops, the large coin shops, having good relationships with the local big dealer, knowing people in the community who do a lot of buying, trading, selling, that can pick something up from you. It's really important to establish good networks of people like that because, well, good is your stack if you can't offload it when everybody else is trying to. You need to have that person that you can go to that will have your back. Yeah. Because when it hits the fan, everybody's going to want to be doing the same thing. Yep. So.
I think that was not. You talking about Pop-Tart? What was that?
I had no idea what he meant by strudel.
Me either.
Well, and SE stacking, that's something else that, again, being able to do that, right? In my particular case, and I've announced this over and over and over again, on my channel, I will never do an auction. I will never sell or buy coins. That's not the tenet of my channel. The reason for that is because I need to be unequivocally clear with people that I am not giving them the information that I'm giving them because I want something from them. I want people to know that the information that I give them is free, it's of benefit to them, and I reserve all of these things and say I won't do any of these so that I hold that integrity. Mm-hmm. Now, I know if I had to offload something really quickly because we had an emergency come up and I had to drop some stuff off, then I'm going to be reaching out to certain people because they can do that for me. And so that is one of those connections. That's one of those people that, you want to have, because again, cultivate multiple options. A lot of people say that, gemstones, they're hard to offload. Well, if you're trying to offload gemstones to people that collect silver, absolutely. It's not the right audience. But if you get into the right audience, the opportunity gets bigger. So sometimes you have to step out of your small group in order to find those people that matter. Mm-hmm. Jackknife, what do you want? I'm not sure if you're asking me a question or if you're asking me to reiterate what I said. Can you clarify? But you need to establish those folks, right? Who do I go to in a time of emergency? If I have to offload this, how am I going to do it? Am I going to eBay it? Do I have a channel? Do I know what's going to be included in that? Do I understand the fees? Do I understand what shipping is? Do I know how to package a coin, etc.? Am I going to be doing an auction? Same thing, same situation. Have to manage the finance, have to box it, move it. You'll have supplies. There's so much of that stuff that that occurs. I'm seeing a lot of sorry Amy's. I must have missed something. Oh, Amy, yeah, that's terrible. Prayers for you. That's a really tough thing to go through this time of year. She said she lost her father because of a strange event that happened.
Yeah.
Sad.
Yeah.
But yeah. So anyway, it's about connection, and I mean, come on, folks. We see each other in how many different types of streams.
Paraphrasing here, you don't want to sell something to your audience to come off as needing something from them, avoiding bias.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I want to maintain my level of integrity. I don't want the reason for me giving information out to ever be assumed that I am trying to lead somebody to a decision that benefits me. Just like when I did the video about the coins, the PCGS coins that you can scan with your phone. I could have bought 2,000 rolls of that tape and say, hey, send the money to me because I'm the person who's teaching you how to protect yourself, right?
Yeah.
But it was like, here's a number of sources that you can go get this. It wasn't about me making money. It was about me profiting. It's just because I want people, there's so much bad information out there that I want people to understand that I'm trying to give the best information I can, but there's nothing for them to do but just watch, right? I'm not asking you to buy anything. I'm not asking you to trade anything. I'm not asking you to, well, that's not really a double die. Send it to me. I'll cover the shipping. But that's when you start hearing people do that, it's like, man, that just doesn't sound right. I don't want people to ever feel that way when they're in my channel. If I'm wrong, and Sunday was a perfect example of this, was talking about a very specific, one of them was about a specific ASE. I was looking at it, I'm like, this is not right. I don't think this is an authentic coin. I don't know about it. Asked Jack about it. He said that he didn't know. He questioned it because of the label, and I didn't understand what that meant. I said, well, let's just ask. Phrased it to the group in the form of, I think this is something we need to look at. There's a problem with this. I found this. This is what I was looking for. And they came and told me, oh my God, you actually should probably go looking at this because you probably found a very rare variety. And I didn't know about it. I was absolutely dumbfounded. I was like, what are you talking about? It took me a minute to understand that it's like, no, they're trying to tell me, you actually found the thing that we all are looking for. Do you know how to find it? Can you go back and find it? Unfortunately, I could. It was sold. And so what they were trying to tell me is, hey, you missed some aspect of your information. So what I did is I called Silver Wolverine. And I said, you are one of these guys who knows a lot about ASEs. Tell me a story. This is what I'm looking to hear. Tell me what's going on. Talk about mintages, talk about whatever. And him and I talked for about an hour and a half. And he said, dude, if you ever want to just do this, let me know. We'll put a video together. We'll talk about it, whatever. And he just poured information into me, right? Why am I saying that? Well, because by holding a place where I was like, hey, I didn't know this information. I admit not knowing this information. Thank you guys for informing me of this. It opened me up to a conversation I normally wouldn't have had. It built integrity within the community. Jackknife, we talk about integrity being a core value. Honor, commitment, and courage are the other three. Our honor, courage, and commitment, if you're Marine. Service before self, excellence in all you do, integrity first. Those are Air Force. So again, it depends on which military you're in. But I subscribe to all of them. Integrity being the first. I like the way that the Air Force has labeled theirs. Integrity first, excellence in all you do, service before self, right? With honor, honor is being a good person, whether or not somebody's looking. It's also a secondary definition of the word integrity. I want to be a channel that people look at and go, I know I can go there. I know I can get good, solid information. And if I ask him something he doesn't know, he's going to tell me he doesn't know. We need more people like that in the world. And I can only tell people what we need by being that. It's the only way I know to do it. So that's what you'll get. Yeah, Jackknife, no worries. I appreciate the question because it helps people understand why I do the way I do and why I'm trying to help certain people. Oh, no, SC. You enlightened a very good point because again, not only do you have to understand who you're getting involved with, but you have to know who they are. And so again, it's just, we have so many good people in this community. It's easy to find one. But it's hard to build sometimes the relationship with the people that you need to. But having people, Silver Wolverine, right? Hey, dude, here's my information. Call me. I want to ask you about all this stuff. And he called me and said, here, boom, done. That's the stuff I want in this community. That's what I want to be a part of. Those are the people that I want to engage in my life because they're pouring into me. They're not trying to take anything from me. And it's huge. It's just huge. So no, you just were able to open up something, SC. I completely get what you're saying. I just went off on a tangent. Sorry.
Right. That is one of the things that we lack in this world anymore. Very few people. Hey, Vinny.
What's up, Vinny? Oh, dude, me too, man. Me too. I work.
You get up a long time ago.
Nancy, did I ever tell you I used to work in an aviary?
Did you?
Yeah, so my grandmother called it an aviary, and it took me a little while to understand what she meant. So my granddad was an enlisted Army sergeant major, and he guy, right, knew everybody. I was always around generals and stuff like that growing up. Always knew a bunch of people, different military members and stuff. So I recognize rank. But again, it was just one of those people, one of those things that I've always been around high-ranking military, even as a kid. So when I got my first job, I was working with the Air Force, and I worked in a room where they were almost all doctors, nurses, but they were all colonels. Well, they were all birds. So my grandmother used to call it an aviary because I worked with the birds.
Okay.
So anyway, no, just being around people smarter than me. I've been blessed to have a number of jobs where I've got to work with people like that.
Yeah.
Well, I was used to work in an aviary, but mine was the real thing.
I'm going to have to send you some pictures of birds that I like because I love to take pictures of birds.
Yeah. But
Birds in water.
I used to take care of the birds we had in that nursing home I was in. And they called me Mama Bird. Because I'd get in there and I'd feed them and they'd talk to me and they gather around me like they was hungry or something.
Some people call her the bird lady.
Yeah.
Oh, who did that that movie, The Birds? Is it Stephen King? Or no, Alfred Hitchcock.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that years and years ago.
The bird lady. The bird lady. Oh, wow.
So I'm actually going to show you one of my favorite pictures. I'm going to take a screenshot of it and blow it up a little bit so everybody can see that. This is one of my favorite bird pictures. So Michael, you know how to pull up my screen?
I will do it. Ooh. Kind of hard to tell, but it looks like a mallard.
It's a wood duck. Yeah, it's a mallard. It's a wood duck.
Okay.
And it is a phenomenal looking bird. Or woody. Yeah, there you go. But this is one of my favorites. This is one of my favorite photographs that I ever took of a bird. I've got a number of them. I like shooting birds. So, well, taking photographs of birds.
Yeah.
I shoot birds when I'm hungry, but duck season, wabbit season, duck season, wabbit season,
Well, I thought
wabbit season, duck season. I love that skit. Anyway. So yeah, but you said you worked in the Navy area. I wanted to show you because that was actually taken when I was like 19 years old in the aviary in Salt Lake City.
Woohoo.
Well, they came to that nursing home and took pictures of me. The newspaper did. So I've got
That's
a couple up around here somewhere.
I'll dig it out. I'll dig it up one day. I know where it's at.
Yeah.
Gotta love it.
Here, I'll show you another one.
All right. Ooh, is that Canadian geese or is that? I can't tell.
Those are mallards. Those are
Okay.
mallard ducks. That's a male and a female.
Oh,
Yeah. They're so this is another one of my many hobbies. I have a lot of hobbies. You know that? I've done a lot of different things, but yeah, I like watching birds in flight and you know, a duck, how they talk about the water rolling off its back, and just there's so many cool things about birds. So
no.
ducks fly very fast, and to get a really good solid image with both their wing beats down at the same time is remarkably difficult. List all the hobbies. Oh my goodness. Rock climbing, mountaineering. Did that for a number of years. Collected rocks, gemstones. Still do gemstones to this day, not so much rocks. Used to collect rocks a lot as a kid. Something that my younger son collected a bunch of as well. I've done coins, music, seraphim angels, music. Once had a library of like 61,000 CDs. Old Disney films, unopened VHS, some of the first ones like Song of the South and some of those very first animated ones. A lot of it has to do with collecting very specific dolls. Some of the stuff my grandfather liked to collect stamps and things of that nature. But I also like to do things on the scientific end. So learning about astrophysics and biology and looking at the human anatomy and the physiology and the makeup of cells and the chemistry behind it, and watching people like Neil deGrasse and trying to understand the phenomenon between different theories. And so I do something, I learn about it, and I'm like, that's cool. I can have a conversation about this, and then I do something else. I learn about it and I study it. I'm like, that's cool. And then I do the next thing. And this is where coins and the history of coins, it just works for me, because I do a story. Like the other week, I did Carson City, did the little story about it, and then rolled it into some fun facts about the mint, and then rolled it into the study of the coins that came from the Carson City Mint. And people like it. And so I'm just being me in a different way. But thanks for asking, Jackknife. I appreciate the ability to list all the different things I've done. And obviously things like photography and stuff like that. But oh, Neil deGrasse Tyson is I love the dude. He's a matter of fact. He gets emotional and gets a little bit reactionary and can be a little bit snooty, but most brilliant people are. And it's not because they're snooty, it's because we don't understand them. They're at a totally different level. And when there are people we don't understand, we end up calling them snooty. So my grandmother used to always teach me that. So, but what's up, Vinny? Yeah, no, it's not me either. I'm snotty. So what kind of questions you all have? We've been talking for 50 minutes.
So what's the difference between...
I should say I've been talking for 50 minutes.
What's the difference between snotty and snooty?
One of them is like a pig's nose, and the other one is the stuff that comes out of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, my.
Then he says, exactly. And then he says, a Kleenex.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I got lots of them for you, Jackknife.
He says, are your favorites.
I noticed that. I don't know about my favorite, but it seems to be my repertoire.
Before I realized you were coughing, I thought you were bilingual and you were speaking German.
Yeah. Never.
I used to be able to speak German, but I forgot it all.
I have a wife that gets cold. We have a heater sitting in between us, and she loves to turn it on when it's still warm in here, and then the heat gets going, and I get to coughing. It's bad.
Oh,
yeah.
That's there was a guy that oh, for heaven's sakes, what's the name of that medication? I just remembered a joke and I can't remember. That's a good impersonation of Michael Frostbite. Oh, well, no, it's I always worry when people cough like that, because it's like I want to make sure that their lungs are okay. But I mean, like this time of the year, here in San Antonio, they've got the allergies are up and mountain cedar and all that stuff, and everybody here sounds like that. It's horrible.
Yeah.
Amy's crocheting a hat. Amy, crochet me a toque.
Ooh.
You know what a toque is?
Ooh. High black sail.
A toque is, it's like a beanie, like what you'd get, but it's in Canada. When they go down over your ears, Sometimes they have the little dangles on the side of them that you can pull the string inside tighter. Or if they don't, then they don't have one. And then they have the little ball on top.
Uh-huh. Southie says, my question is up there.
What kind of rig you running for bird pics? During that time frame, it was a Pentax 35 millimeter. I don't remember, but it was all manual focus. And what I did is I had set up the middle of our the canal in which they were going down this. They were flying down this canal for weeks as they were preparing for their migration. It was a giant area, and so I just focused it on something in the middle of the canal. Did my best find and then set it to an area, and then zoomed in a little bit until that focal point and everything was where it was aligned, and I just kept pushing the button. It took me probably, and this was film, it wasn't digital. It probably took me 20, 25 rolls to get that image done. When I went digital, then I ended up using Nikon. I had like a D8 and then a D80, and then I don't remember which one I have now. So I've changed a couple. I want to go to Canon. Nikon's been good to me. I've used it a number of years, but I'd like to go towards Canon. But they're just so much money. Yeah, I like the D8000. D8000 is really nice. They have the Canon, the one for Canon's unreal. I don't remember what the megapixels are. It's just ungodly high. And then their f/22 wide angle lens. It's ungodly expensive. The unit that I want to get, it's 3 lenses. It's the 7200. It's that 22 wide, bright. It's like a 1.2 or 1.8 or something like that f-stop. Absolutely phenomenal photos, but I think it's like a 40 or 60 millimeter lens down to 22. It's a $12,000 setup. So it's not going to happen anytime soon. It's just not. But that'll be a retirement gift when I start getting there. That'll be my retirement gift to myself. Because I want to do, when I retire, I want to do more hiking, more walking, more photography, and instead of just remembering places, I want to see them again. And so remember why I go there, and then again tell the stories and do more of what I do with coins. Yeah, so Vinny, what's really cool is, I don't know if you guys have ever done there, but Adorama or BH, you can still buy really good quality film, because some places still make it. They just don't make it available to the public, because there are some professional photographers that love to use that for certain types of shots. So you might find your old film at a place like Adorama or B&H. If you enjoy using that, don't give up on it, because I can still get film from my old Pentax. And that's 100% all manual, everything. So, but yeah, I love photography. It's just like everything else, it's gotten so darn expensive. When a camera body's more than an ounce of gold, yeah, whew, eek. Yeah, I agree, Essie. Way better for wildlife photography. And the speeds and the frame rates and everything have gotten so fast. It's amazing. Plus with the video, it's just a flip of a switch and you're getting video and all that stuff as well. So you're getting, 8K video graphics on a camera. It's just something you hold in your hand. It's just unreal. Fun stuff though. real oddball question. But well, I mean, we went from, you know, coins to wildlife photography. So
I told you, wherever it flows, that's where we go.
well, and I talk about this on too. It's some of the best conversations, some of the best streams I've ever had, as far as fun. No, please, SC, no, that's not what I'm saying. It's just it's so weird how the question. Where did the photography come from? Oh, the photo. Why did we do the photo? Oh, because Nancy said she worked in an aviary. Why did she say it was an aviary? Oh, because I had mentioned that for my grandmother. How in the world did I get there? Right. And so it's really kind of like it was just a real long derailed stream of events that led us to it. It's just kind of like it was an odd question. And, yeah. Sorry. My mind's all over the place. Can you tell?
That was that. And I enjoyed it thoroughly, the whole thing, all the way through.
Well, you guys have any questions or anything? I mean, the few questions that we've had so far have yielded some good conversation. What are you guys thinking about what's going on with silver? Michael, Nancy, what about you guys?
Well, you know what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to cut out the fat and get to and trim it down to the good stuff.
The meat close to the bone.
Yeah, because yeah, there you can love that, but you have to look at with what I do. It's long term, very long term, and that doesn't fit for a man once he's retired. It really doesn't. It fits better for a young man. That stuff over there that I got there is fit for someone 20, 30 years old, because when they get to my age, then it's become very valuable. Right?
Well, and again, this is where most of the stuff that I have that's from my grandfather, not all of it carried value.
Mm-hmm.
When he had his stamp collection was worth a bunch of money. Not so much anymore.
Yeah.
And so this is why you shouldn't, you know, we go back to the very first thing we talked about early, you know, you can't bank on that. That's why when we get older, we have to look at different options.
Yeah. Yep. And whoever says, you know, you have to learn by your mistakes. And if you don't learn, then you burn. Yeah.
So, Vinny, that is a great point. It depends on what you consider value. That is a term like the term rare, that what does value actually mean? And if you'll allow me, I want to impart some wisdom. Value versus worth. Do you know the difference?
Value is what I put on it. Worth is what they put on it.
Or vice versa.
Yeah, could be.
It depends. It could be. Chat, do you know the difference? Give me a definition or the difference between value and worth. Yeah, see, that's a fact. Condition can be the rarity. We'll give it just a minute. This is something that I've actually talked a number of times on the channel about. It's probably due for another one. I normally have this conversation. Hold on. Sorry, my dog was upstairs, and I'm like, "Hey, go track her, follow her." I don't want to walk out to a big old steaming pile of dog something when I leave this room.
Mhm.
But when you look at value, value is something that somebody else puts a price of. It is what they consider value. Now, you can have value, or you can estimate a value, or you can predict a value, you can set a value, but that's not what it's worth to you. What's worth is what you're willing to spend on it. And a lot of times people misutilize the word worth and try to make it become valuable. Value and valuable is different, right? And so, but worth is one of those things that I'm in an auction. The coin that Michael has in the center there, just for grins, I don't actually know because I can't see your screen, is, let's say, $150. And again, I can't see the middle coin, so I don't know what it is, but let's just guess. 85.065, so 250, maybe somewhere in that area.
85.
Is that what you'd say? Do you remember what you paid for that?
Very close.
Okay. Yeah, somewhere in that area. And so, okay, so that's, what is that? Is that its worth, or is that its value? So value is something that is realized, right? But what's it worth to me? If I really want that coin for my collection and it's going to be something that means something to me, it's going to be worth more. It's an arbitrary statement. And so when somebody says, well, I know what it's worth. No, you know what it's worth to you, but you don't necessarily know what it's worth to me. The value is this, right? Yeah, exactly, Vinny. And so I want people to understand, it's like the word rare. What does rare actually mean? And when we talk about rare, what is it about it that is rare? Is it the mintage? Is it the condition? Is it the variety? What is it about that that makes it rare? Because it might be worth, and Mike, you and I talked about this, Michael, sorry, you and I talked about this the other day. Green beans. What's a green bean worth to you?
What? Were you talking to me?
Yeah, I was talking to you.
Oh,
Your name's Michael, right?
sorry. There was just kind of crazy text. What is a green bean? Now, see, my opinion may be different than others. My idea of a green bean, it puts more value on that particular coin than one without it.
And there are other people that subscribe to that.
Mm-hmm.
And why is that? Because when you go to purchase one, there is a increased value for that green bean. The question is it worth it to me?
But to you, maybe not.
Maybe not, right?
Yeah.
And so I want people to understand, when you hear people say, well, this is what it's worth. No. I want to know what the value of the item is. So go look up value. Go find out, because somebody will tell you that something is worth something. Because if you say, well, this is its value, you can go look it up. It said something, but you say, hey, it's worth this. You know, it's worth it for you to do this. You can be, I don't know how to say this without sounding like I'm belittling anyone in the chat, because it's not my intent. But somebody could easily swim you into, this is worth it for me. with a couple well-timed, well-positioned phrases.
Hmm.
Because if they say, well, what's it worth? Oh, what do I think this is worth? Oh, man. I can't even comprehend the value. Now, that's not a lie. I don't know what the value on that coin is. But I just told them, oh, my God, I don't know what the value it's wow. Your inference might be, oh, man, it's probably way more than what we think. And people will infer that. Nobody said it. Nobody actually leaned you towards it. They said something in a certain manner, utilizing a word that is meant quite frequently to have people pay more in something than others.
Mhm.
The word worth can lead you very quickly into taking on that worth as your own. Once you take on somebody's definition of worth, that becomes the value that you're willing, or the money that you're willing to pay. But just because you paid $400 for a $300 coin doesn't mean that that's its value. Its value is what its actual value is, not what you paid for it. And so a lot of people get that confused. A lot of people will say that, well, that's what it's worth to me. Well, that's fine, but it's not worth it to me. That's not its actual value. And we see this a lot with things that were given to grandkids. They kept it for 30, 40, 50 years. And it's that seated Liberty dollar that grandpa polished up all nice and pretty
Yeah.
for his grandson. And he thinks that this is like the mint state of that coin. And it's not. It's just that worth comes from a feeling that happens. And when you tell them that the value is way lower than they think it is, they get upset. And so just understand the difference. If you can understand the difference in that, they won't be able to talk to you. They won't be able to use FOMO or fear tactics against you, because you will understand the definition of what value is and not be trying to finagle worth from them. I get really touchy about that. That's the number one way I see in social media people taken advantage of. Within a couple questions, you can swing somebody from being absolutely against you to on your side by on your side, or at the, okay, I'm willing to pay that, because they can say just a couple different phrases in a certain way, and you take that worth, turn it into value, and now you're willing to pay it.
Makes sense.
Vinny, my collection is worthless because I'm never going to sell it. I want to tell you that is about one of the wisest things that I've heard in chat today. Do you know why that's important, Michael, what he said there?
What's your opinion?
My collection is worthless. I say that because I'm never going to sell it. It's extreme wisdom. You know why?
Because he's not. Yeah. I don't really understand. I really don't understand why he says that. Sorry.
He's saving it for somebody else. He's never going to see its worth. They're never going to see its value.
Yeah.
And so if we remember that we are temporary stewards of our collection, if we remember that this is going to go to somebody else, we can't take it with us when we go. Well, you can, but you're a fool for doing it. Or you're spiteful of family. But if you realize that the value is only there if you understand that it has to be as good as you believe it is, meaning that you need to go through your collection and find out if there are counterfeits in it. It means that you should go through and check all your silver to make sure it's silver. This is why you should go through and check all your gold to make sure it's gold. Because you want to be a good steward for your family or for your spouse or for your grandkids.
Yeah.
You had better make sure that what you're giving them is what you think they're getting. So there's great wisdom in what Vinny said, because if you remember that we are just stewards and that we are passing on value, our job is to make sure that we are the best steward. What is a steward? They're the ones who validate, verify work. If a steward is in the company of a commander, the commander imparts their wisdom on the steward. The steward's job is to do the work. So if we remember that we are stewards of our collection, and we all know who the money belongs to, of course, we have to remember that one, right?
Yeah.
And we're the steward of it, then it's our job to make sure that we get it right. So it's important to check your stuff and make sure your coins are what they say they're going to be, and make sure your gold's gold, make sure your silver's silver, make sure it's not, pretending to be silver and it has a copper core, or pretending to be gold and have a tungsten core or something like that. So due diligence, that is the essence of that. So again, I just appreciate the insight that Vinny offered there.
He wrote something else just a moment ago. I'm trying to find it. If I can scroll back up there and read it. The value, Vinny says, the value is in the enjoyment I get from looking at it, and it really belongs to my son when I can no longer care for it. Interesting. Yes.
Makes sense.
And that's the sense of all this. This is all for Nancy. If something happens.
And see, yeah, Vinny, and Vinny and I had talked on message in the chat before. There's a lot of wisdom here. Remembering this is a hobby. This is a hobby. This is what we do. Yeah, we're collecting money. It's the only money in which you spend more money than it's worth. And you're happy about
it. That's true. Michael gets very happy.
Okay, now I want you to think about how goofy that sounds. I'm buying old money for way more than it was ever worth. Okay. All right. I know, but hey, it's what we do. So let's talk about the sound of what we do to other people. And again, if you remember those things, if you remember how some of the stuff we do sounds to people, when you get people that come into your chat and they really want to know, and they're like, well, that sounds dumb. Why would you do that? It's not that they're being ignorant, it's that they genuinely don't know. And so giving people an opportunity to learn. The opportunity that Vinny gave us in that collection is worthless comment was that there's so much wisdom there. And if you didn't, and you just took it at face value, you would miss what was being said. And that's why I like coins. I know it sounds silly, folks, but if I tell you guys, I'm thinking about a 1924 peace dollar. You guys know, because I told you here on Michael's channel, the story of the train heist that happened in 1924. Broke it down, talked about it, talked about how they were called the gentleman bandits, and they didn't like to do it, and they were charmers, and quite often the ladies afterwards were like, hey, that was pretty exciting. Right? And because why? Because these are the stories. This is what we are. If I'm a steward of something, it is my job to take care of it and to do with it what its task is. What am I supposed to do with the story? Hold it? No. I'm supposed to tell it. And that's my call in this hobby, is tell the story. And explain why it is the way that it is. And right. That's why I love doing what I do. It's tons of fun. It's tons of fun. But I get to understand this because I've done a lot of different hobbies and realize I really like doing this. And I've enjoyed the other things, but this is just something I really enjoy doing. Thanks, Vinny. Much appreciated. And having conversations. I mean, you know, Michael and Nancy, in the real world, where would you and I have ever met?
That'd been a difficult thing. What?
Seriously, where would you and I are the different lives that we live, not forsaking the fact that we live in different states,
Right.
but how would we have met? Where would it have been? And so we have such great opportunity to connect with some absolutely amazing people. And I have met some amazing people in this community and had great conversations and actually developed genuine friendships from people in this community. So, yeah, again, but just remember, folks, we are a small niche of some weird people. Okay. I'm telling you, if you remember that, the questions you hear about coin collecting won't always sound so dumb. I could see Michael and Frostbite meeting at hot yoga. Yep. And you know where we'd be? We'd be outside both going, those guys are crazy.
That's Frostbite, Chad.
What's going on, Chad? I resemble that statement. Yeah. I've actually done hot yoga once. You want me to tell you the story about what happened there? So this is a true story, 100%. I was really frustrated that morning and I was like, I'm going to yoga. I'm going to go calm down. I'm going to stretch. I'm going to go work out, but I want to just be mellow. I want to be happy and calm today. And I'm just going to go stretch. And I signed up for the class, and it was just a yoga stretching class. It's not the whole namaste, find your inner ear or your inner eye or whatever the hell it is. I think it's your inner eye, not your inner ear. I think that's what you get when you have an ear infection.
Your nose.
But yeah, so I'm down, I'm stretching and I'm calm and just laying there holding the poses for a while. I'm just feeling absolutely relaxed. And I get into the car and I get into the car, the telephone rings and it's my wife. And I'm like, hi, honey. And I hear, oh my God, the fish tank broke. Oh my God, there's water everywhere in the house. And, and I was like, huh? What? I was in such a state of just kind of like calm. I was like, I have no idea what's going on. So obviously came straight home from the gym, walked in, and my 30-gallon aquarium had shattered. Fortunately, it was only the 30-gallon one, not the 300-gallon one that I had sitting next to it. Just spontaneously blew up. And later come to find out that there was a little screw that held something underneath. And when it shipped, it had just bounced enough for whatever. And when I stuck on there, it warped the table just slightly, and it was enough to shatter that piece. But yeah. So anyway, that's the closest I get to hot yoga. I don't think I've done yoga since.
I don't think I could that I could do that either.
Did it?
Hold on, I'm going to show you a friend of mine. Come here. Oh, yes. Let's say hi. Hold on. Let's change the camera. I know how you're doing. We're going to change the camera. We're going to say hi. I got a friend come on. Looky. Hello. I come up to say hi. My little chunky. Let me move that down so you can see. I got me and my toilet paper roll light. Yep. This is my little chunky monkey. How much is that doggy in the window? You can sing that one, Nancy, can't you?
Yep.
Let's do it.
Oh, Lord.
How
much is that doggy in the window? I do hope that dog is for sale. How much is that doggy in the window?
Roof, roof.
That's about all I remember of it.
I must have that doggy. Sup, brother? Woof, woof. Woof,
So
woof.
yeah, this is my little chunky monkey. She's don't ask her how much she weighs. She's too much. So she's up here hanging out. Normally they don't come into my office because I have carpet, so they're not
No.
allowed inside my area. So
Yeah, I can understand.
if she was in
that.
here staring at me, so I've reached down, pick her up.
Well, there you go.
The other one wouldn't be up here at all because she'd be tearing stuff apart.
Looks like she might be a little spoiled.
Is this one spoiled? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Mhm.
I do hope
Yeah.
that doggy's for sale.
Yeah.
Vinny's got a good memory. And I
Yeah,
remember seeing it as a kid. What?
Yeah, she's a little spoiled snot, that's for certain. She's more like a cat than she is a dog, actually.
What breed is she?
She is a Yorkie. She is a Chihuahua and a Pinscher mix.
Pinscher? Oh my.
Mhm.
Min pin?
Mini Pinscher. Yep.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we used to raise them.
Yeah. She's a hoot.
Yeah.
She's got some hip issues. When she was young, she had the spade done too soon. It was too early, and they ended up jacking up her back leg and stuff. So
Oh my.
you got to know when to take your dogs in to get that stuff done. And unfortunately, they did it too early for ours. So, but she's a good dog. She's lazy. She doesn't normally like to be held like this, but I think she's going to sit there and fall asleep.
She is. Her eyes are closing. Yeah.
So she's comfortable.
Well, we had a wonderful time, and I really appreciated you coming in. We learned a lot, and to consider. I think it would be very wise to consider what you've talked about, and we're more informed about the market and more informed about what's been going on with the platinum market. That's for sure, which is amazing. I think we've come to the end of it, and I think that's about all we got. I just wanted to be sure that y'all check out Frostbite. He does, and he does a really great show on early Saturday and Sunday mornings. If you're up and at 'em, they talk a lot about coins and variety of coins and all kinds of good information. And if you're looking for good information, if he doesn't have it, he'll find it for you. He'll help you to find out the answer to your questions.
Yep, I definitely will.
Frostbite. Before
Vinny.
you get off, I wanted to tell you a little cute story. Now, this comes from my mama, so don't quote me. After I was born, my mom would go to visit Daddy at the Naval Yard.
Is this going to be a nasty story?
No.
Okay.
And she'd
A
have
dirty
to.
story, maybe?
No. She told me, she said that she had to take the ferry over to Norfolk where he was stationed. So, and she said as soon as she got on that ferry, she never knew where I was because they was passing me from sailor to sailor the whole trip. She says, I was surprised when you ended up in my arms when we got off of that ferry.
So that him holding the puppy reminded you of that story?
No, I had that story on my mind before this. It was just a cute little thing. I mean, I never knew it, but Mama told me.
She's a heavy little chunky monkey. I'm gonna have to put her down shortly.
What goes on at the naval yard stays at the naval yard. So yeah, I really appreciate you coming on and hanging out with us, and appreciate all the great information and all the rabbit trails we took off on. They were fun too.
Oh yeah, I appreciate everybody just offering questions and stuff. That was fun.
Yeah. All righty. Thank you, Chadwick. And yep. We're here every night, 10 p.m. Eastern.
Thanks, Vinny. Appreciate you, brother. I will say this. Tomorrow's Christmas. Remember what the reason for the season is. And it's easy to get caught up in the financial. It's easy to get caught up in the gifts. But we celebrate it for a very specific reason. Remember what that reason is. Love you guys. Be well, be blessed, and we'll see you later.
All right, friend. Thank you so much.
Night, Frosty.
All right, folks, we're gonna say goodnight, and we appreciate you coming. And we love you, and we will see you tomorrow night. So have a great one, friends. Enjoy tomorrow. Thank you, Jackknife, Rocka Moss, and Neil. Good night, friends. Good night, Vinny. Good night, Chadwick, Amy, Neil, Black Sail. Yeah, we're gonna wrap it on Barbara.
Night,
Oh, and all the folks that are watching but not in the chat, and I know several of you. Good night, friends. Thank you so much.
Night, y'all.